Now that we are properly equipped, we can talk to Duncan. Initiate the next stage of our quest.
You found Alistair, did you? Good. I'll assume you're ready to begin preparations. Assuming, of course, that you're quite finished riling up mages, Alistair.
What can I say? The revered mother ambushed me. The way she wields guilt, they should stick her in the army.
She forced you to sass the mage, did she? We cannot afford to antagonize anyone, Alistair. We don't need to give anyone more ammunition against us.
You're right, Duncan. I apologize.
Now then, since you're all here, we can begin. You four will be heading into the Kokari Wilds to perform 2 tasks. The first is to obtain 3 vials of darkspawn blood, 1 for each recruit.
What do we need darkspawn blood for?
For the joining itself. I'll explain more once you've returned.
Surely you could have acquired some blood before now.
Of course. You must work together to collect the components, however. It's as much a part of the joining as what comes after.
And what's the second task?
There was once a Grey Warden archive in the wilds, abandoned long ago when we could no longer afford to maintain such remote outposts. It has recently come to our attention that some scrolls have been left behind, magically sealed to protect them. Alistair, I want you to retrieve these scrolls if you can.
What kind of scrolls are these?
Old treaties, if you're curious. Promises of support made to the Grey Wardens long ago. They were once considered only formalities. With so many having forgotten their commitments to us, I suspect it may be a good idea to have something to remind them with.
And what if they're no longer there?
It's possible the scrolls may have been destroyed or even stolen, though the seal's magic should have protected them. Only a Grey Warden can break such a seal.
I don't understand. Why leave such things in a ruin if they're so valuable?
It was assumed that we would someday return. A great many things were assumed that have not held true.
How will you find this archive?
It will be an overgrown ruin by now, but the sealed chest should remain intact. Alistair will guide you to the area you need to search.
Find the archive and 3 vials of blood. Understood.
Watch over your charges, Alistair. Return quickly and safely.
We will.
Then may the Maker watch over your path. I will see you when you return.
So, now to check out some of this. Mark all as red. But yeah, I wanted to make sure strange flower, 3 vials, and the trees. Characters. You know, one good thing about the Blight is how it brings people together. Alistair was a Novus Templar when Duncan recruited him into the Grey Wardens, or rescued him, as Alistair would say. So, time to continue our journey. But I'm going in the wrong direction. So I will turn around, run into a statue, and then make my way towards the weird floaty arrow in the sky. Open sesame.
Hail. I'm told you all have business in the wilds. The gate's open for you. Just be careful out there. Even a Grey Warden won't be safe in the forest tonight.
The Kokari Wilds. Time to activate some more tactics for different characters. You're a defender. You are an archer. So you had best go ranged. I don't want you dying. You are a scrapper. And you're going to be aggressive. And voila! That's essentially how I use tactics. Meaning it's not exactly the greatest way to do them. You can actually go in there, set the tactics up how you want them specifically, but I just use the default ones, and if I need to, I can change up what the characters are doing while I'm actually fighting. I did not realize you were getting so badly hurt. Take another potion because you were almost gonna die there. And now we have a whole bunch of dead wolves. Time to loot the corpses. Nope, nothing there. Time to go searching the Kokari Wilds for side quests and elf fruit, because those things are very, very important. Also, if you haven't noticed by now, there's some barking in the background, and they're not just sound effects from the game either. That is actually the family dog, Susie. Whenever Dad and Mom are out, she barks like that. You're just gonna have to learn to deal with it. So, creatures. Wolf. It is rather unfair, the reputation that the wolf possesses in Ferelden. For a people that so clearly adore their hounds, Fereldans simultaneously harbor a distrust of wolves that borders on the unreasonable. Unreasonable, that is, if one were not familiar with the ancient legends regarding werewolves. There was a time in Ferelden's past when demons inhabited the bodies of wolves in great numbers, causing the wars against werewolves and spreading great fear and panic. The werewolves were slain, but even today the noble wolf is still looked upon with distrust. From Legends of Ferelden by Mother Alis of Denerim, 910 Dragon. An attack by wolves upon civilized folk happens rarely, often only in times of desperation, and even then only when the wolves have the advantage of numbers. This can change during a blight. When darkspawn rise onto the surface, their presence dramatically alters the savage nature of normal beasts. In blights past, as the corruption of the darkspawn spread through the wilder areas of Thedas, it would infect the animals found there, and the more powerful of them would survive and be transformed into a more vicious and dangerous beast. A blight wolf is one such example, mad with the pain of its infection, and only through the overriding command of the darkspawn does it still retain some semblance of its pack instincts. Blight wolves are always found in large groups and will tend to overwhelm a single target if they can, using their numbers to their advantage. It is fortunate that these creatures rarely survive the corruption for very long. Letter to Jogby, my dearest son. It pleases me that you wish to follow in my footsteps, and bring the Maker's word to the unenlightened. I wish you had chosen a less dangerous place to do so. Apologies for leaving early for the wild, son, but I wanted to set up camp and get things started. The chase and respect one with survival skills in the wilds, so I hope to get a grip on that before you arrived, and maybe establish an agreement with a local tribe, so that we had friends when you came. When you reach the wilds, you'll find it difficult to navigate. I've listed certain landmarks below. If you follow them, they will lead you to a location I've scouted out, where I've left you some supplies. If you're lost, try to get back to that spot and I'll find you. The landmarks are as follows, beginning at the entrance to the wilds from Ostgar. Look for a tree leaning on a ruined building. Pass under a fallen tree bridge. Pass a submerged tower on the right. Look between a high ruined arch and a mossy standing stone. Walk along a path of roots and stones. Look for 2 large statues with a chest between them. There you will find our meeting point. I love you, Jogby, my son. I hope to see you soon. Your father, Rigby. Oh, Jogby didn't get very far. Unfortunately.
Over here. Who is that? Grey Wardens?
Well, he's not half as dead as he looks, is he?
My scouting band was attacked by darkspawn. They came out of the ground. Please help me. I've got to return to camp.
We can take you back.
If you just bandage me up, I can get back myself.
I have bandages in my pack.
Thank you. I've got to get out of here.
Did you hear? An entire patrol of seasoned men killed by darkspawn.
Calm down, Sir Jory. We'll be fine if we're careful.
Those soldiers were careful, and they were still overwhelmed. How many darkspawn can the 4 of us slay? A dozen? 100? There's an entire army in these forests.
There are darkspawn about, but we're in no danger of walking into the bulk of the horde.
How do you know? I'm not a coward, but this is foolish and reckless. We should go back.
We'll just fight our way out of trouble.
I still do not relish the thought of encountering an army.
Know this. All Grey Wardens can sense darkspawn. Whatever their cunning, I guarantee they won't take us by surprise. That's why I'm here.
You see, Sir Knight, we might die, but we'll be warned about it first.
That is reassuring.
That doesn't mean I'm here to make this easy, however. So let's get a move on.
Yes.
I've found the flower. Now I don't have to worry about that anymore.
I'm off.
Now, before I was so rudely interrupted, I wanted to go this way.